Well, we had a really disappointing ball game last night down there in L.A. Didn't do at all what we had planned to do and get done what we wanted to get done. They came out firing, and we were on our heels a little bit, and they did a really nice job early on, and we struggled to stop them, and we got far enough behind. But by the time we started rallying in the third quarter with the way the defense was playing, couldn't overcome it. We need the offense to respond in the second half, like the defense responded in the third quarter, and we would have had a shot. But very difficult game, and disappointed in how we performed. But that game is already done, and we need to go. And we got a lot of work to do, and we got to get back on track and remember the things that we've been doing well and get back to it and make sure that shows up in this game this week and in this preparation, and away we go. So I can't wait to get on. What do you got?
What was it, do you think, about the offense that just wasn't clicking? You on the radio you talked about Malik's and Jacobs, crucial drops in the first half, but just kind of the whole picture. What do you think just wasn't quite clicking?
Yeah, well, those were two crucial plays because you convert right there. But that's just those two plays. We really ran the ball fine, and we did. I wish we would run the ball more. Just stayed with it, and particularly against a team that rushes the passer so well. I wish we would have been able to play off of that more so and relied on it. The score gets to influence because we're falling behind, but it still keeps us in the game plan and keeps them away from what they're good at, which is rushing the quarterback. It falls in exactly how they want to play. They're ahead and they get to go after the QB, and which they do really well. So. Those are things we have to do better. We missed our opportunities on some explosive plays that we had called, and we ran the routes and all that, and we didn't get the ball where we wanted to go. Russ, wound up dumping the ball down a little bit, and I think it was all product of the pass rush in general. So those are things we could do better, and because we didn't get the explosives that we're used to getting. I think we had 7 in the game, and we're used to being around 10 or 11, and so those are things that would have made a difference.
The tempo that they went with on offense in the first half, is that just what led to some of the communication breakdown?
It wasn't their tempo as much as how we made some calls that got us off a little bit, and we prepared for their tempo. They've been doing this for years. It was nothing new. We didn't. Our calling at the line of scrimmage got us a little bit off, and we just got scattered a little bit, and it wasn't sharp, and we had to tone it down and get it right and zero in, which we did, and it changed. But it took us a couple series to get going, and it was too late.
In retrospect, was there anything from the short week that maybe left you guys tired or anything like that?
I'm not going to that. I don't think so.
Pete, what's the update on Rashad, and how big a blow was his loss so early in that game for you yesterday? I think that was first touch of the game for what you wanted to do.
Well, I don't. I haven't heard the update on his tests yet. We haven't heard back from the MRI stuff, but the docs could tell he had a pretty, like I said, a significant knee injury, and we'll know more. We'll let you know when we have the info. He has had a big impact the last few weeks, and we've really liked his contribution. And so, you miss him. In a guy like that, you just don't replace it. You go to the next guy, and he brings what he has. But and he had explosive play, when he got hurt. Unfortunately, we missed him, and we're going to miss him the rest of the season. And I've been really excited about him turning the corner and really taking hold of this thing and contributing in a big way. So we'll CJ will step into that role, and Homer will help out, and we'll see how those guys can do. We'll expect them to do well. CJ's always done well when we give him a chance. Now he'll know he's in the game plan and all of that, and I'm hoping he'll contribute in a big way.
How is CJ similar, or maybe even different than Rashad as a runner?
He's got his own style, to him. He's not, he's big. He's over 220 pounds, and he's fast, and they're about the same speed and all that. CJ has the background as a receiver, that makes him a little bit different type of threat that we've always used when we have him in the game plans. And so, we'll look forward to him contributing in that way. We know he's a big play guy. He's already had a couple good big plays earlier in the year, and we're going to count on him to really just pick up. Where Rashad left off.
When you look at the Rams offense in general, they've gone for over 450 yards against you now in 4 straight games. Is there some aspect of what they do that's tough for you guys to handle? Or
Yeah, they've done a really nice job with their play passes, and we have not handled them as well. You know, that all of that and the movement stuff that they've done in complement with their running game has been, pretty effective against us. Yeah, we have not solved the problem of them, like we would like to. I have a lot of respect for how they do it and what they do. I thought the quarterback was phenomenal last night. He's played well against us and done some nice stuff, and they were throwing and catching everything. And we needed to do a better job of covering. And because of the style that, the perimeter passing game that they were featuring, once again, they hit everything. And so we just needed to make a few plays to change the rhythm of it.
What goes into the process of, you said, you already put this game behind you, you're on to the next one, just that process coming off a tough loss like that, just what do these days look like?
I think it's the discipline of the approach. We have to stay with it. This has been enormously valuable to us over the years, and that we're able to do this. These guys are prepared to put something behind us one way or the other, win or lose. And so we have to be disciplined about that and not get dragged through it, and taken back to the whatever just happened. And because we need to take the lessons that we learned and move forward and be better off. But we have to get turned into what's going down the road here this next week. So it's my discipline, it's the players and the coaches' discipline to just do it, and we know it's important and it's crucial. It's the ability to to command your own focus, and put it in the right spot. So hopefully we'll do a good job of that.
In fact, a lot of people said last night that what you want to accomplish is still out there for you. Is that a big motivator for everybody?
Yeah, this whole season is in the next few weeks here, and it starts with us going to Carolina. Regardless of what would have happened last night, we had to do the exact same thing we have to do this week, so and the next week and the next week. And so, we're fortunate to be in that position. We're not waiting on anybody else. And we've kind of been in this situation before, and we've gotten through it, and I'm hoping we can do this again. But again, it goes back to the discipline of staying focused on what's right at hand. The 3 games we can't do anything about, but the 1 game we can, and so that's what we need to really zero in on.
You mentioned this morning about Cody getting checked out. Is the concern more the knee or the ankle?
I don't know that. I don't know what's one or the other. I mean, generally it would be your knee, just because it's it's a more difficult injury. But I don't know. He was okay, and he got back in there. So he's very tough and very demanding of himself, and so he just overcame it. We'll find out. I don't know.
How did you feel like he played overall?
He played good and hard. Some first-time mistakes, a little bit of communication stuff. He was scrambling around, getting lined up a few times. So you can't play at your best when you're going through that. That's the problem. If you're a little bit off tempo with your calls and alignments and getting set, then you're not going to play as well. And it's just the way it is. And so that was harder on him than maybe other guys, because he hasn't been out there as much.
how about KJ? How's he doing?
He's fine. He dislocated a finger, I think, and he was okay to go back in.
DK is now leading the NFL rookies in receiving again. Just what's he been doing this year that's impressing you?
He's been really consistent in his competitiveness. He's battled every week. He had a great matchup this week, and he came through in a big way. Played with one of the better guys in football, and who was trying to stop him and shut him down, and he didn't let that happen. He just kept working and coming through. Tough catches, running after the catch, blocking. He's more than just a catcher. He's done a lot of good stuff. I go back to his makeup. He's really, I can't go any other way than say he's a great competitor. He really wants to be great, and he wants to work. He's willing to work at it. He plays hard and physical and tough, and it's paying off for him. He's been a real positive factor for us.
Are you seeing teams defend Tyler differently than maybe what you saw earlier in the season?
Not other than they're always aware of him, catching the big pass down the field. People know that he's a big play guy, always has been, and but that's not any different. That hasn't changed. But he did well. I thought he played well. I think he was clearly back in action and feeling good, and physically right. Past the being sick the week before and all that. So I think we should expect him to continue to contribute in a big way.
How rough has it been for him, the shin to the flu, and trying to fight through both of those?
Yeah, he's been kind of, he's fighting through it. You can tell he's carrying it, but he's out of that now, and so it's a real positive for us. I'm glad for him.
Quandre had another big game yesterday, 2 picks, the pick 6. You know, what do you think has kind of led to him having such a huge immediate impact for you guys in the back?
I think he's really a good player, you know, and not only that, he's really smart, and so he can make sense of a new system and new people that he's working with and expectations and all of that. I even watched him kind of come in kind of conservatively in the first week, you know, and just take care of business and just get through the game and you know, and be sound in the game plan. And I went to him and said, you know, okay, come on, I know you can do that now. Let's get back to your game and start using your background and your ability to read stuff and you know, let's go. I trust you, you know, and I didn't have to. He was, I think, trying to earn trust and feel comfortable and making sure he was coming through for his teammates and all that. And he's just active. I mean, to make the play that he made and to make it look so easy, you know, he's just been there before. He's been through it, and you could just tell it was not a hard play for him. He did it just right. They threw him the football. He put it in the end zone, you know, and so I just think he's a really good ball player, and I think that's why it showed up so soon.
He's mentioned that he's still relatively new to the free safety spot. For him to look that natural and comfortable, how surprised are you that that's come so naturally to him so quickly?
You know, I'm not as much as maybe he is. You know, I thought you could see it. You know, I mean, there's indications that you can see over his time playing that he's just a really good natural football player. He makes good decisions and he goes for stuff and he's aggressive. And, you know, there's guys that I've coached before, and you guys have seen how Earl played. And if you go back to Troy Polamalu and those guys, they have a different mentality than some other players, that they look for the opportunity to go for it and they trust themselves because they've done it before and they've had the experience. I've tried to tell you guys about that. I mean, he is one of those guys. And, you know, he's not the biggest, the fastest, or whatever. You know, he's just a really good football player, and he's tough as hell. And it shows up in numbers of ways. It's not just any one aspect. He's playing well across the board, fitting in on the run, making his hits in the passing game, and defending the ball down the field. So I think we're lucky to have him.
Do you expect Ziggy to be able to practice this week?
Yeah, I do, because he practiced last week, so he certainly should. It's just you know, whether his strength can be mustered here by the end of the week and get back at it. So we'll look forward to that.
How did this week serve on Clowney and how he physically kind of made it through?
He's hurting. You know, he's going to have to work his way through the week to make it for game day, and he's playing really tough under the circumstances. He's got some core issues that he's working with, but he's making it through it, and so he's toughing it out and doing the rehab and all that stuff. You know, I was going to say to you guys that this is for a lot of guys and for our teams and all. These seasons are like a heavyweight championship match, and each game is like another round, you know, and you try to win as many rounds as you can, and if you lose a round, you try not to get knocked out so that you can come back and battle for the rest of them. That's what it feels like. You know, we've got a few rounds left in this season to go ahead and finish, and we got to come out slugging and going for it and making good choices and playing smart and all that. But it's all there for us, and it's exciting as can be for us and for our fans. I know to follow this, it's not always easy, and it certainly isn't perfect. But you know, guys like Clowney, he's fighting through it. You know, and you know, you saw Barton, a rookie, fighting through it, and you saw KJ come back in the game with his fingers crooked, you know, and the way these guys are going at it, it gives us a chance. I think that probably the indication of how we came out after halftime on defense, you know, we got a touchdown on defense, we get another pick, we block a field goal, and we stop them again, force a punt. That gave us a chance to get back in this game and win ourselves a ball game. Well, I think it's the same kind of mentality it's going to take to get it done here at the end, and we got to fight our way through this and go back on the road again. Here we go again, you know, and across the country and get it done, and then come back and we'll see what's up next. It's an exciting time of the year, and it's a challenging time of the year, and we're gonna make our season here with how we do this, and so I'm really excited about it. As much as that was a mess last night, it's about dealing with it and moving on is what has to happen. So that's really what's going on in this building, and I'm looking forward to the challenge of it. So see how it goes.
You